Hey guys, so I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. There's so much lowball in this particular character and his known feat due to a mixture of overall One Piece downplay as well as a lack of understanding of what's actually happening when Don Chinjao splits the continent. Warning, spoilers up to chapter 771 or episode 711. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more One Piece content. Don Chinjao, retired 12th leader of the Hapo Navy, high-tier pirate in his prime and former adversary of Monkey D. Garp, formerly held a grudge that trickled down to his son Monkey D. Dragon and grandson Monkey D. Luffy. He briefly fought with Luffy in the battle for the Mare no Mi Devil Fruit, formerly eaten by Ace and later by Sabo. But how strong is Don Chinjao really? I'll show you. Real quick, Don and the Hapo Navy found a continent of ice, and under a sheet of ice, they stored their treasure. Now, before we go on, I don't want anyone to get caught up on sheet, because it's not thin nor weak. I want to introduce some new terms to those who aren't familiar with them, and remind those who know what they mean but forgot to apply them here due to their One Piece hate. Attack potency. Now, I'm not a big fan of Battle vs. Wiki, but I do like how more times than not they provide references, examples, scans, etc. And it's a decent database to peruse in my opinion, but I don't think the people that edit it fully understand all the fiction they cover. But they provide a clear explanation on attack potency, even though they call it destructive capacity as well. As you can see, it's basically saying their attack power can be at a certain level without having to necessarily show said destruction. So someone who doesn't destroy something of standard Continental range can still be Continental in AP. And like Versus Wiki Battle said, that I also agree with, AP and speed is usually the determining factors in the Versus Battle. Hacks, range, and stamina are others, just to add information. Time for statements. Don Chinjao says this landmass, or continent in some translations, is known as the Jewel Ice Sheet. Databook entries. It's referred to as a mass of ice. I looked up ice mass since a mass of land or a land mass can be defined as a continent, and the ice mass keeps referring to continental glaciers, and those continental glaciers are referred to as ice sheets. You can look this up, so please don't let anyone tell you that this man isn't continental because he only broke a sheet of ice. Now, I know the term continental ice sounds funny only to those who don't research and expand their knowledge, but continental glaciers are a thing, and that's why the Hapo Navy kept their treasure hidden under it. This pic is from the anime, but I just wanted to throw another time they referred to it as an ice continent. Another bit of wordplay that One Piece doubters like to use to perform their mental gymnastics is the word room or chamber that can be found in a lot of translations when referring to where he kept the treasure. A room is defined as somewhere where space can be occupied or where something can be done, and chamber can be defined as a large room. And while we are on that word, many people know a chamber is something in a firearm where the cartridge is loaded. Are we comparing that chamber to the chamber in question? These are some of the laughable arguments that doubters try. Here in this translation, they say continent twice. If I'm not mistaken, this might be the same time as the anime pic I showed already, but yeah. Here again, where Don is about to attack Sai and Baby 5, they say continent again. Now shout out to Atari_HMB because his article on how Luffy is past Continental, which he obviously is scaling off Don Chinjao, covers the original Japanese kanji that the manga is originally written in before being translated. These symbols mean the words that the English translations say as well. But watch doubters try to work their way around these facts, and as Atari_HMB put in his article, look at this low ball to show you that not only the doubters that have no points to debunk any of this, but Battle Wiki as well can be confused with what's going on in One Piece. It's way more intricate than most series of its time. Another overlooked ability in the Hapo Navy's arsenal is the Hasoken ability that both Don and Sai have shown that is made to bypass weapons and armor with its vibrations. This is an extremely strong and skilled Haki attack from a high tier in the verse. This is not regular ice that they have to break through to get their treasure. To show you Don isn't fodder, let's look at some bounties as well. Don had a $542 million bounty on his head, higher than all the Shichibukai or Warlords of the Sea at the time, except Mihawk, whose bounty we didn't know, before it was raised following the disbandment of the Shichibukai. Higher than most of the Beast Pirates with the exception of Who's Who, the All-Stars, and Kaido himself, and a little lower than Ace and Sabo's bounty. His bounty is clearly amongst high tiers. Let's look at some feats other than splitting the ice continent. He effortlessly bodied a casually mountain level character who was able to send one of the One Piece giants flying. For reference, one of the weakest giants in the verse is a Vice Admiral, John Giant. Giants are around mountain level on average. Clash with Gold D. Roger according to Databooks and the hero Marine who already would have been on par with Roger, who is far above Continental based off scaling. And it took Garp to beat 8 mountains to dust to prepare his already strong fist that should be Continental AP themselves in order to train for his clash with Don Chinjao and one-shot him. Don Chinjao's head attack. His Hasoken Ogi Kiryu Kirakugi. I try not to butcher that. His 8 impacts fist secret technique, Drill Dragon Drill Nail, is Continental at least, but based off of who he can tangle with, I'd give him large Continental off the highball. Another feat, him and King Elizabella were able to destroy Pika's arm. If Pika's hand is the size of a town and his body was the size of a mountain, then I'd say it's safe to say his arm was the size of a city. So overtired Don Chinjao should be above town level, but not quite city in my opinion if we don't consider Haki. But considering Pika has Haki to be able to fight back against Don Sasuken, old Don Chinjao might have been able to clear the arm himself if he didn't. Lastly, but slightly besides the point, I want to talk about his durability. This man tanked being stabbed in the stomach. That would have put a ninja down. To call him anything less than Continental is a low ball, and to call him island level or below is straight up ignorance. Read the series, people. To recap, what an ice sheet is literally a continental ice mass, and the only two we have in real life are the country Greenland and the continent Antarctica. So if anyone ever tells you that an ice sheet is not continental, refer them to Google, refer them to school, refer them to some studies or something, just ignore them, because One Piece haters literally don't have any evidence for anything they ever be saying. This is DJ, aka Django Joestar. I'm out. Follow me on everything.